Hey friends, welcome to our chapter reading. Today we are starting a new book. This is the second book in the Toys Go Out series. This one is called Toy Dance Party by Emily Jenkins, and the same illustrator, Paul Zielinski, is our illustrator, so he made the pictures. So in the Toys Go Out books, we met the little girl's three favorite toys. One was named Plastic, who was actually a rubber ball, right? The other one was named Lumpy, who was a stuffed buffalo, and Stingray, who was a stuffed stingray. So we are going to continue the adventures of those silly toys and see what happens next. So let's start Toy Dance Party. Chapter 1 is called The Toys Are Left In. Lumpy, the stuffed buffalo, did not go with the girl on winter vacation. Stingray did not go either. She thought she would. The girl even told her she would, because she and Stingray sleep together every single night on the high bed with the fluffy pillows. But in the end, when the suitcases were packed and the car loaded, the girl and her parents drove away, and Stingray was left behind. Plastic, being only a ball, had not expected to go on the trip. No one plays with balls in snowy weather. She's here with Stingray and Lumpy in the empty house, finding it strange to have days go by without the good-natured ruckus of the people who live there. No alarm clocks, no morning bustle, no baths, no cooking smells, no laughter, no arguments, no stories read aloud. The house is cold. For several days, they are not sure how many, Lumpy, Stingray, and Plastic play checkers and hungry hippos with the toy mice and the one-eared sheep. They chat with the rocking horse in the corner and with Tuk-Tuk, the old yellow towel in the hallway bathroom. They watch television, but the hours go by much more slowly than usual. There's always the feeling of someone missing, the girl they love. When is she coming back again? Plastic wonders one afternoon. She and Lumpy are on the windowsill downstairs in the living room. Lumpy is watching the snow falling outside, and Plastic has been reading a book about cheese, kinds of cheese, where it comes from, and how it's made. She's flipping the pages herself with a rolling technique she's invented. So here's a picture of the friends playing checkers with the mice on the floor. I bet they're getting really bored. The Saturday before school starts again is what they said, Lumpy answers. He feels sick to his stomach when he thinks about how the girl isn't here. What Saturday is that? Plastic asks. I don't know. A week is how long they'll be gone. But how long is a week? Plastic persists. Stingray says 5 days. What day is it now? Wonders Plastic. Is it Tuesday? I think it's maybe Tuesday. She rocks anxiously from side to side. Ugh, mumbles Lumpy. He's counting in his head. What are the days besides Tuesday anyhow? Continues Plastic. Does it go Wednesday, Tuesday, Thursday, Thursday? I think they've already been gone more than 5 days, announces Lumpy. You mean we already had Tuesday? I mean we already had Saturday, says Lumpy. I mean the week is up. Fwop, gobble, gobble, fwop, gobble, gobble. They are interrupted. Fwop, gobble, gobble. Stingray is falling down the stairs. Flipper over plush Flipper, bouncing first off the wall, then off the post beneath the banister. Fwop, gobble, gobble, fwop, gobble, gobble. And then eventually, bonk, she lands at the bottom. Lumpy climbs gingerly off the windowsill while Plastic bounces over to Stingray. Are you okay? Stingray's lying on her back and her head hurts where she banged it on a post, but she quickly turns over on her tummy and brushes her eye with her left flipper. What do you mean? You fell down the stairs. I don't know what you're talking about. I come down that way all the time on purpose. Stingray changes the subject. What have you been doing? I was reading, Plastic tells her. Did you know cheese is made in caves? Because it is. You can put milk in a cave and it comes out cheese. Of course I knew that, says Stingray, although she didn't. Listen, do you know where the playing cards are? I can't find them anywhere and I want to play fish. Plastic and Lumpy agree to help look for the cards. They search downstairs, checking bookshelves and the drawers of the coffee table, but the cards are not there. They go upstairs. Lumpy climbing, Stingray lurching up each step with a strong push of her tail, and Plastic bouncing easily 5 stairs at a time. They look through the girl's bedroom again, search under the high bed, look behind the box that holds the board games. Then they realize the girl has packed the cards. She's taken them with her on vacation where she has not taken Lumpy or Plastic or Stingray. What else has she packed? Cries Stingray, frantic. She flops herself across the bedroom carpet. Did she pack that book about the mouse in the dungeon? Plastic takes a high bounce to look on the bedside table. It's not here. Now we'll never find out what happens, moaned Stingray. What else did she pack? Their survey reveals that the girl has packed not only the book about the mouse in the dungeon and the deck of cards, but a box of dominoes, a carton of Legos, a paint box and a pad of paper, a jigsaw puzzle of a triceratops, 2 Barbie dolls that don't talk and never have, and a vinyl box of Barbie outfits. Oh no! Stingray cries when Plastic and Lumpy present her with the total. Why did she take all the second-rate toys and leave us? There, Plastic says. She just what? She just forgot us, that's what. Forgot us and took those Barbie dolls who don't even say anything at all. Maybe she went to a place that was good for Barbies, said Plastic. Some kind of special Barbie place where Stingrays would get bored. Oh yeah? Stingray throws herself out on the carpet in distress. And she needs her paint box there? And her dominoes? She hardly even likes dominoes. She never does puzzles. She doesn't love me. She's left me. She's coming back, says Plastic. She's coming back on Saturday. She doesn't tell Stingray what Lumpy told her, that maybe Saturday's already over. By Saturday, she'll have forgotten all about us, cries Stingray. Now she's twisting over and back in the carpet, gasping and sobbing some more, and even more sobbing. This can't go on, thinks Lumpy. He has to do something. He galumps down the hall to the bathroom and grabs Tuk-Tuk, the faded yellow towel that hangs over the rack. Holding her corner in his mouth, he drags her as fast as he can into the girl's bedroom, where Stingray is tossing and flopping. With one big motion, Lumpy throws Tuk-Tuk on top of Stingray, covering her eyes, her flippers, her whole body. Where are the lights? Stingray yells. It's all yellow in here. I'm going blind. I'll never see another sunrise. Lumpy will have to lead me around so I don't bump into furniture. Stingray is still twisting and crying, but the weight of Tuk-Tuk is such that she can no longer flip over. Lumpy backs up a couple of feet and Rumpa-Lumpa jumps heavily onto Tuk-Tuk. Oh, Stingray cries. You're on me, someone. Someone's on me, someone heavy. Oh, heavens, I knew it would come to this. Some horrible day. No one loves me. I'm being squished. I'm blind, and my friends are squishing me. Lumpy sits. He sits on Tuk-Tuk, who lies on Stingray, and together they calm her down, resting on her so she feels their weight. The sobbing stops. She's barely moving now. One flipper is just thumping up and down. Finally, Stingray is peaceful. Lumpy climbs down from her broad, plush back and pulls Tuk-Tuk behind him. The girl still loves us, he says. Okay, says Stingray meekly. I just got concerned for a minute. Half an hour later, all 3 toys are sitting on the windowsill in the living room. The snow is still coming down. Plastic is reading about cheese some more. Stingray is drawing shapes in the frost on the window pane, and Lumpy is worrying. The girl hasn't been here for a really, really long time, he says, breaking the silence. Where is she again? Asks Plastic. Bowling. They said they were going to bowling to see Grandpa. But where is bowling? Lumpy does not answer. And what is bowling? Wonders Plastic. Is it a town, a hotel, a magical land, or what? Lumpy doesn't answer because he doesn't know. It's been more than 5 days, he said. In fact, it has been way more than 5 days. And when it's more than 5 days than it's supposed to be, that means maybe the people are lost. Oh, cries Stingray, suddenly afraid. She loves us, but she's lost. Maybe everything is fine, Plastic says. The girl's just having fun in bowling. We cannot panic. Lumpy looks pointedly at Stingray. And we cannot pretend anymore. Looking now at Plastic. I think something has gone wrong. I think the girl is lost. Stingray tries not to panic and makes a small noise like this. I have to go outside and look for her, announces Lumpy. The girl needs me. Is that a good idea? Asks Stingray. Yes, says Lumpy. I have to be tough and brave. We all have to be tough and brave. Plastic bounces softly and whispers, Brave, 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 to herself. Lumpy jumps off the windowsill and scurries to the kitchen. Plastic and Stingray follow more slowly. If I were lost, I know she would look for me, Lumpy tells them. Hello, says Stingray, following Lumpy to a cupboard which begins to pry open. They went in a car. Bowling might be really far away. But they could be nearby, answers Lumpy. Won't we get wet? Stingray is dry clean only. Snow looks very, very wet. We can't just stay home and not try to save her. Lumpy is determined. He gets a laminated placemat from the low cupboard. It has a baby stegosaurus on it. I'm a buffalo. I have thick woolly fur. He stands on his hind legs and waves the placemat heroically over his head. You don't have to get wet. I can save the girl. How will you save her with woolly fur and a baby stegosaurus placemat? Asks Stingray. Lumpy returns to the sill and opens the window with his forepaws. Icy air gusts into the room. Lumpy drops the placemat out the window onto a drift of snow and leaps after it. It's a sled, he calls as he lands squarely on the placemat and zips down the drift into the yard. Whee! Plastic and Stingray are watching him from the sill. A few feet from the house, the placemat comes to a stop. Now what? Calls Plastic. I'm going to try to find her, says Lumpy, his voice sounding small in the blizzard. Go, 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 yells Plastic. Lumpy wags his tail stump bravely. He had a tail once, a good-looking chocolate-colored one, but now there's only a stump. He squints his eyes against the storm and jumps off the placemat. Slursh! He sinks into more than a foot of snow. It is so, so cold. Lumpy did not realize it would be this cold. It's colder even than the time that toddler came over and put Lumpy in the fridge for 2 hours. Lumpy scrambles around with his forelegs and kicks his back legs, reaching for the baby stegosaurus placemat and desperately trying to pull himself out of the hole. But the snow is soft and he digs himself down deeper until his tail stump feels the hard dirt of the frozen lawn beneath it. I knew you shouldn't go outside like that, calls Stingray from the window. I told you it was a bad idea. Lumpy struggles some more, but his paws can't grasp the now slippery baby stegosaurus placemat. I'm stuck, he cries. Don't panic, yells Plastic, remembering what Lumpy himself told Stingray. I need to rescue the girl, cries Lumpy, frantic at the thought of his own failure. The snow is drifting down and flakes are melting on his woolly buffalo fur. We're getting a spatula, yells Plastic. Then to Stingray, get a spatula. How are you going to save him with a spatula? Asks Stingray. Yeah, how? Moans Lumpy from his hole of snow. And what about the girl? She needs me. He's still trying to climb out. I'm not saving him with a spatula, Plastic yells to Stingray. You are. Stingray has never heard Plastic talk like this before. It's very bossy, and Stingray's not sure she likes to be bossed. But Lumpy is her best friend, so she follows Plastic to the kitchen. Together, they push a chair over to the counter. Stingray climbs the chair, leaves herself onto the tile, and looks at the jar full of wooden spoons, whisks, and spatulas. The kind of spatula for flipping pancakes, or the kind of spatula for scraping bowls? She asks Plastic. Bowls, says Plastic, bouncing high, wants to see what Stingray is talking about. Stingray seizes the bowl of scraping spatula and leaps off the counter to the floor. Now what? Now you ride the Diplodocus placemat, then dig him out with the spatula, says Plastic, rolling over to the cupboard where the placemats are kept. Fear crests over Stingray. But I'm dry clean only, she says. Ooh. Dig, 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 cries Plastic. Can't you go out? Asks Stingray. You're rubber. You like to get wet. Plastic looks at Stingray, even though she doesn't have eyes. I can't hold a spatula, she finally says. It takes Stingray some effort to get the spatula and the Diplodocus placemat up to the windowsill, and when she does, she's startled to see that quite a lot of snow has blown into the living room through the open window. Night is falling, and the yard outside looks bleak and gray. Stingray, help! Cries Lumpy. She's coming, Lumpy, yells Plastic. She's coming with the spatula. As the buffalo did before her, Stingray drops her placemat onto the pile of snow at the edge of the house, then hurls herself out to land on it, squeezing the spatula under one flipper. And there's Lumpy stuck in the hole in the snow in his placemat. And then here comes Stingray's placemat out the window. And there's the spatula and Stingray. Hopefully they can rescue that poor buffalo. Zoosh! The Diplodocus placemat skids through the yard toward the hole where Lumpy is stuck. Stingray is lucky and arrives quite near Lumpy, so she's able to poke her nose into the hole and see how he's doing. Lumpy is very, very cold and sick to his stomach, but as soon as he sees his friend, he stretches his body to touch his buffalo nose to hers. "I'm not panicking," Stingray says proudly. "I'm being tough and brave." "That's good," says Lumpy, "because my tough and brave turned out dumb." Stingray brandishes her spatula. "I'm digging you out." She rears up on her tail and jumps off the Diplodocus placemat so she can dig. Slursh! She sinks. She turns and tries to launch herself back onto the placemat, realizing her mistake. But the mat is slick with snow and she can't get onto it. She flails around with the spatula, but that only makes the hole bigger. "Help! Help! Oh!" she sobs. "I'm panicking now. I can't help it." The struggles until the snow on one side of her hole collapse into Lumpy's hole, and the two of them are together, surrounded by walls of powdery white. There's nothing for them to do, nothing they can do. They'll have to wait until the storm ends and the snow melts. When her panicky feelings calm down, Stingray puts her flipper across Lumpy's cold back. The two of them hold on to each other in the snow. Plastic watches from the window. There's no one else who can help. Sheep is on wheels, the toy mice are too small, and the rocking horse in the corner can't move around. Plastic stands watch for many hours as the snow floats into the hole where her friends are. At some point, she remembers the lights aren't supposed to go off, and she bounces sadly at the light switches until all the house is once again in darkness. Late that night, a car pulls into the driveway. Plastic hears a shuffling sound outside the front door. Then the voice of the girl's dad. A jingle of keys. The porch light goes on. The door opens and the dad walks in, dragging a duffel bag. He shuts the open window, knocking Plastic to the floor, where she rolls until she bangs into the coffee table. The people are home. It's Saturday. The toys haven't missed it after all. Plastic can hardly keep herself from bouncing with relief. The mom comes inside too, but the girl stops in the driveway and looks into the yard. There's a spatula there, in the light from the porch, and 2 dinosaur placemats. Seconds later, she's lifting Stingray and Lumpy into her warm arms. "Lumpy, you sweetie buffalo," she cries. "Are you okay? And Stingray, you're all soggy. Did you fall out of my bag when we left the house? Let me take you inside." She runs indoors with them, scooping up Plastic on the way to the bedroom. She rubs a frozen Lumpy and a soggy Stingray with Tuk-Tuk and sets them on the warming up radiator to dry overnight. Clucking and tisking and being a good doctor. She makes sure they're safe, then goes over to give the rocking horse in the corner a kiss on the forehead. She squeezes Plastic and lies on her stomach to see the smaller toys who are huddled together on a low shelf. "Hello, Sheep. Hello, Bonkers and Millie." She picks up each toy mouse in turn. "Hello, Brownie. Oh, and hello, Rocky. Can't forget you." On top of the radiator, Lumpy nudges Stingray. "You okay?" "I'm okay," she whispers. She waits for her to ask if he's okay, but she doesn't. That's Stingray's way. Finally, he says, "That was a dumb idea to go outside, huh?" "Probably." "I'm a dumb buffalo." "You're a tough and brave buffalo," says Stingray. "It's just that blizzard was so big." "You think so?" he asks. "You think I'm brave?" "I do," she tells him. And everything is good again because the girl has come home. All right, friends, that's the end for chapter 1. So meet me back next time and we will go to chapter 2. See ya.